One election. Recently, the Union Cabinet has approved the ambitious One Nation, One Election plan, a landmark move towards synchronizing electoral processes across India. In September 2024, the Union Cabinet accepted the recommendation of the Ram Nath Kovind-led High-Level Committee on One Nation, One Election. In September 2023, the Union Government established a high-level committee on One Nation, One Election led by former President Ram Nath Kovind. The committee had discussions with national and state political parties and sought public and jurist opinion on the idea. After enough discussions, the committee, led by the President, had proposed simultaneous Lok Sabha and State Assembly elections as the first step, followed by municipal and panchayat polls within 100 days of the general elections. What is One Nation, One Election? It refers to the idea of holding simultaneous polls for state assemblies and Lok Sabha instead of separate and continuous elections. The idea is that the elections for the Lok Sabha and the state assemblies will be held concurrently, either on the same day or within a specific time frame. This aims to streamline the electoral process, reduce the frequency of elections, and save time and resources. Historical background. One nation, one election was the norm in India until 1967. Simultaneous elections were conducted for the Lok Sabha and state assemblies in 1952, 57, 62 and 1967. Three-tier governance in India. There are three levels of government in India: union, state and the panchayat. The union government. The union government is composed of the executive, legislature and judiciary, with powers delegated to the Prime Minister, Parliament and the Supreme Court respectively under the Constitution. The elected Prime Minister leads the executive and is in charge of the Union Government of India. The Union Government handles matters related to national defence, foreign affairs, interstate commerce and other subjects that affect the entire country. The State Government. The State Government looks after the states in particular. Every state government consists of the governor, who is chosen by the president, and council of ministers with the chief minister as its head and legislative council. In 6 states of India, there is one additional legislative assembly along with the legislative council. The third level is at the grassroots level: Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti at block and district council, Zira Parishad at district level. Functioning of the three levels are intertwined at the moment but are envisioned to be independent. Elections. Elections are the most visible symbol of the democratic process. Elections take place every 5 years for the Lok Sabha and every state legislative assembly unless called earlier. Both Lok Sabha and state assembly elections are vital for democracy in India. They give citizens the power to choose their representatives and influence how the country and states are run. By voting, people participate in shaping their government and policies that affect their lives. The Lok Sabha elections. The Lok Sabha is the lower house of India's parliament. It plays a key role in making laws and discussing important national issues. Members of the Lok Sabha are called Members of Parliament or MPs. They are elected by the people of India through Lok Sabha elections, also known as general elections, which are held every 5 years. At present, the Lok Sabha has 543 seats filled by elected representatives. The state elections. The Vidhan Sabha or the Legislative Assembly is the lower house of the state. It plays a key role in making laws and discussing important issues associated with the state. Members of the Vidhan Sabha are called Members of Legislative Assembly, MLAs. They are elected by the people of India through Vidhan Sabha elections, also known as the State Assembly elections of the concerned state, which are held every 5 years. The outcome of the assembly elections directly impacts the formation of the state government, the appointment of the chief minister, and implementation of policies at the state level. Panchayat elections. The panchayat head is elected directly by the people of the village and is known as the Sarpanch. Panchayat election is held every 5 years. A panchayat is a village-level democratic body. Their functions include maintenance of roadways, electricity, distribution of gas supplies, water bodies, maintenance of infrastructure, etc. Key benefits of One Nation, One Election. Frequent elections force governments into perpetual campaign mode, delaying long-term decision-making. Simultaneous elections can streamline governance and make policy-making efficient. Simultaneous elections can drastically cut down the huge cost associated with the elections. Repeated elections lead to voter fatigue, with participation often dropping in by polls and local elections. Simultaneous elections can enhance participation. By aligning electoral schedules, ONOE can reduce disruptions to economic activity. Challenges of ONOE. Implementing one nation, one election requires amendments to several constitutional provisions as it would require reducing or extending the tenure of certain assemblies. In ONOE, the local issues could be overshadowed by national campaigns and agendas. With more than 970 million registered voters, India is the world's largest democracy. Conducting simultaneous elections for the Lok Sabha and all state assemblies would require massive administrative and logistical planning. Joint Parliamentary Committee. A Joint Parliamentary Committee (JPC) is set up by the Parliament for a special purpose like the detailed scrutiny of a subject or bill. As the name suggests, it has members from both the houses and from the ruling parties and the opposition. It is dissolved after its term ends or its task has been completed. Members of the JPC are decided by the Parliament. The number of members can vary. The recommendations of a JPC are not binding on the government. अब बारी हमारे लास्ट वीक के कंट्रीब्यूटर्स की। आंशिक मौर्य और आदि कल्हान ने कंट्रीब्यूशन किया। दोनों ने ही अपने क्लास और स्कूल को मेंशन नहीं किया। आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है कि प्लीज अपना नाम, क्लास और स्कूल का नाम जरूर मेंशन कर दिया करिए। सभी कंट्रीब्यूटर्स के पेरेंट्स, टीचर्स और स्कूल्स को ढेर सारी बधाई। अगर आप भी अपना नाम वीडियोस में सुनना चाहते हैं तो क्लास में डिस्कस किए गए क्वेश्चन का जवाब हमारे कमेंट सेक्शन में लिख दें। आपके आंसर्स को हमारे एक्सपर्ट्स इवैल्यूएट करेंगे और फीडबैक भी देंगे। थैंक यू सो मच।